when I met Aang, right? When I saw Aang in Avatar: The Last Airbender, slowly over time, I was like, oh shit, I'm in love. But like, what the fuck? I only felt this love towards like a real life characters or like real life actors. Sorry. So that was very new feeling for me. That was like I was questioning myself. So at a very young age, you can distinguish between what's fiction and what's not, right? You can understand something fictional. It's fictional, and you cannot, you know, it cannot be real. So it was like, is something wrong with me? Am I being like, there has to be something wrong with me, because how can I be feeling real love for a fictional character? I was struggling so much, and like my best friend at the time, she was a girl. We can get back to her like in another story, because she was a girl where like wanted to be so close to how I act. It was so weird because she was more well off in like in terms of everything than me. So she was like trying to act like me. It was so weird. But like at the time, the girl was like, "Oh, like, she was my best friend at the time." So I told her, and I was like, "I'm in love with Aang," and she was like, "Wait, same. I like Aang too." And I remember specifically before that, I was like, I have something that I'm worrying about myself, and I'm telling you. And it was like, I might be insane. Has to be something wrong with me, but I'm in love with Aang. She was like, oh, me too. Thank God I'm not the only one. And that is my fucking fear. That is mine, like, complete. Oh, okay. At least there's another person who feels the same way. I'm not the only one type of situation. That was when you found out you are a weeb. That exactly. First husband that broke her heart. No wonder she's a little off. Cheating airbender baka. No, listen. So I started liking this, and at the time, the internet was allowed maybe a year or two after that time of me being Avatar fandom, but like at the time it was like dial-ups, and only like the parents could use the dial-ups. If I wanted to go using internet, I had to go to a net cafe. And there was a specific, like, there's this one specific net cafe that was like right next to my school, right? It was right next to my school, and every day, if if I remember correctly, I would go there, and I would be there for maybe 30 minutes, right? Don't remind me of dial-up era. Oh my god, you could not even pick up a phone without disturbing the internet, and people would scream at you. There were like people would use the internet at kilobytes. Jesus Christ. But like, yeah. War flashbacks, indeed. Core memories for real, for real. So I used to go to these net cafes, right? And I would search up. And at the time, there was no Instagram. Instagram was like in 2010, 2011, if I'm not mistaken. So it was Twitter, but like I didn't know how to use Twitter. So if I wanted to search about fandoms, and like I was just into fandoms, so there was tons and tons of weblogs. There were tons and tons of weblogs. And I would search and see the weblogs of people making posts, talking about their thoughts and everything. And I was just minding my own business. I was searching through those weblogs, seeing the fandom, seeing like, you're 40. Oh, I'm not. I'm 23. Okay. I'm 23. I always say this. I'm vocal about my age. Okay. I'm 23. But yeah, I would search about, you know, fandoms and everything. And then I remember there was this one day I went to this net cafe, right? And it was a, like, I think it was in fall too, because the weather was, it was foggy, not foggy, it was like there were clouds in the sky. They're like rainy clouds, so the weather was a gloomy weather. I went to the net cafe. I was doing my usual search, and I saw there was like a one video linked to YouTube. It was like Katara and Aang kissing. I felt ice pouring on my body. I knew you knew this gonna happen. Like, I only at the time, exactly, season 3 was finished, but for me, I have not watched season 3. I think I was at like close to season 2, like starting season 2 early. So yeah, Imagine, got that, and it was like the kiss. I'm gonna, you guys got getting shocked, but I'm gonna specifically say which episode it was, because I have that episode craved in my heart. Season 3, episode 10, The Invasion Part 1. You watched it in public. It was in fucking net cafe, so yeah. I watched it. I saw the kiss. It was, I don't think I even watched the video. I just saw the thumbnail, and the thumbnail was like, maybe I just saw a little and then saw the kiss, and it was so shocked. It was like their actual kiss. It was like, Aang, I have something to tell you. It was like, what if Aang is like, what if I don't come back? And Katara is like, Aang, don't say that. Of course you don't. The kiss happens. That's it. I even remember the dialogues. Okay, I will tell you the reason why I remember the dialogues. It's not because of hate. No. Listen, I will tell you a little bit later. Just wait a second, okay? It's a continuation of the story. And then I remember I felt my whole body go cold. I got up, I paid, and I got out. Remember, it was a gloomy day. It was raining, and the rain started to like absolute fucking cinema. Even the fucking weather was hyping my emotional, dramatic ass out. It started to rain. We need a 12 episode in this. Listen. It started to rain, and like it was like a 5 to 10 minutes walk between my school, where the net cafe was, literally next wall, and my house. I start to walk home in the rain. They're running in the rain. I was not running. Oh no, it was way more dramatic. I was slow walking in the rain, hiding my teary eyes, feeling betrayed. And I kid you not, I was having a fight with Aang in my head. I was a dramatic kid. I still am. I was a dramatic, like, drama queen since I was out of womb. So imagine me, full on defeated, teary eyes, and I'm walking slowly in the rain. The weather is all set up, the rain, everything is top notch. So I'm having a full on like fight with Aang. Aang is like in my head. Aang, like full on Delulu, let me tell you. Aang is going like no wait, Hami, listen, I can explain. And I'm like, what is there to explain? I already had my own OC inserted in After the Last Airbender's universe, okay? I was like a character who had like half avatar. Okay, I could bend 2 elements, like, you know, all of that. You could create your own OC, and it was like another one that helped Aang, had this special bond with Aang and all of that. It was like, Aang, how could you do this to me? And I kid you not, I was so close to crying. But this happened, and I was like going on home, and I was like crying. I was devastated, and it was like, I can explain, it's Katara, listen to me, you know, it's for acting. That was just me and Katara acting. It was not real, all of that. And I remember I went home. Wait, let me change the music. I'm gonna change it. Let's set, okay. And then fanfiction reveal when. And listen, no, wait, the music last one, it was actually soothing. Okay. And then I went home. My eyes were red. My mom asked, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm just tired. You know, I'm gonna go sleep. You know, I went to sleep crying. I went to sleep crying. And then I woke up, and that's where writing it is as we speak. And yes, I woke up and I was devastated. I did not watch this remaining episode of season 2. I was heartbroken. I could not handle to see my very first husbando cheating with his actual wife in the show. I could not. And I was depressed. So this part, then there's this very part that I'm gonna say it's blurry. I'm not joking, it's blurry. So there's a timeline in this that I do not quite remember, whereas I go from hating Katara because of jealousy to start acting like her, to DIYing my very first cosplay. I forgot to say this. DIYing my very first cosplay. Doing a Katara's necklace, wearing it to school every day, to full on acting like I'm Katara in the show. I'm willing to bet she wrote at least 2 fanfics for Avatar. Unfortunately, I did not. I didn't know writing at the time. I started to write, like, I knew about like fanfic. I didn't know about fanfic writing at the time, right? I started learning about fanfiction in middle school when I met with Quote-free or like Wattpad, come on. So yeah, the line is blurry. It's like I slowly went from hating Katara of jealousy, again, she's a fucking boss girl, to slowly becoming her. My very first cosplay that I DIY'd, mind you, I did not know cosplay was a thing at the time. I didn't know. I tore down my dress, I tore down my clothing, and I made Katara's firebending dress in season 3, the first 10 episodes when they're in Fire Nation. That's when I used to wear that and watch the season 3. So when did you start writing? I think it was in middle school. I started doing my own, especially since I start getting better in English around the time where I could like easily could write sentence, and I start writing in English. So yeah, that's with Avatar. And then it was like, I'm not joking, it's a very fun fact. It's around, is it tomorrow? Oh my god, I still fucking remember the date so completely. Tomorrow marks my wedding anniversary with Aang. I bet you did not expect that. I bet you did not expect that. I exactly remember the date. Tomorrow, I wore my mom's wedding dress, and I did the fucking oath and everything, and it was like, I'm married to Aang. Your mom bonk you for ruining your clothes. It was my like home clothes. It was also my t-shirt, but yeah. And like, I did it. That was like, she was like, why did you ruin your clothes? Like, ugh. But she was like, okay with it after a while. She knew, like, I tried to be like Katara. But yeah, I was invested in the story as fuck. So that's how I became Katara. I started wearing Katara's necklace to school every day, right? I started to wear that necklace to school. And to this day, I still have, I'm not joking, sometimes when I wear some other necklace that is like a choker, I do the hand movement that Katara did. I became the mom friend of my groups after that, right? After that, especially in middle school, I was the mom group. I was the mom friend. To this day, I am still between my friends the mom friend. Katara's character is embodied in me. I cannot be separated, okay? Acting as a Katara in a way have become something. And in high school, I let go a little bit of being more stricter, but being, I let go a little bit of being strict, but still to this day, when we're going out with my friends, where I'm like, okay guys, it's like, come on, it's 2 a.m. we cannot stay at our friend's house anymore, we have to get up and leave after like a party or anything. You guys can still see being a little bit of a dominating characteristic of mine, right? And here I am. It's part of Katara, I'm not joking. And then there's other characters that came up and slowly shaped me. That's why I cannot never hate Katara. Nor I can hate Tacha's necklace. I remember Hami used to say that. Oh, for fuck's sake. I remember I used to tell my mom, like, Mom, call me Katara. So yeah. Oh my god. That is my story with Avatar. I can also tell you the game where I got fucking catfished. But the story, emotional story. Oh no. Oh, backtrack to Avatar. Oh, backtrack to Avatar. I have another touching story. Okay. So, it was announced Absolute Cinema. We're gonna have another Absolute Cinema story. Listen, sit back. First season of Avatar Korra is announced. I am waiting impatiently. I cannot wait to see more of Aang grown up, the gang growing up, all of them. So excited, right? At this time, my older sister have a PC, like a laptop. I'm sitting in the living room. You went through some weird character development during your childhood. Oh, this is like the basic. Oh, you have not heard some of the weirdest shit that I went through. Okay, listen. And then, first episode of Korra arrives. At the time, I can use our internet at home easily, but still sometimes I go to net cafes just for the funds, for like printing, if I want to print a poster or anything like that. I think you know what's coming. I open Avatar Korra, and I've downloaded the first episode. I did not download, I bought the CD. They used to fucking sell CD of like one episode. I don't know why would they do this, but like, I remember I bought the first, and then I played this. I was so excited. I was so excited to see more of Aang, right? That should have what have happened. At least you could have seen a little bit more of Aang, the gang, and then reality hit me. Oh, I was whiplashed. In the first minute of opening sequence, the narrator say, after the passing of Avatar Aang, the new Avatar has been discovered. I sat there, tears in my throat. I feel it. It's stuck in my throat. In denial. Like, what do you mean after the passing of the first Avatar? What do you mean after passing of Avatar Aang? What do you mean? Dramatic music. This is all dramatic music. Like, what do you mean? Like, after the Avatar Aang's passing, I was in denial, waiting to see any slight glimpse of Aang. It's just a slight glimpse of Aang. But then I just faced with his statue. I faced with his statue that made in honoring him. And then they show Korra. I paused this. I paused the film. I start to cry. Hysterically. Tears were running down my face. I could not contain myself. What do you mean Aang is dead? I ran to my bathroom. Mind you, I was in living room. My mom, my sisters, my parents, everyone was in the living room. I don't think my dad was there. But everyone was in living room. I ran to bathroom. And I locked myself. And I started to cry and cry and cry. What do you mean Aang is dead? And I kept crying. For 1 hour and a half. I am not joking. Those are embodied in my memories. Those memories are embodied in my memories. I cried myself in that bathroom. And I have the thing, if I tear up just even slightly, my whole face turns into like a red beam. Imagine what happened after I fucking cried myself for 1 hour and a half. My face was puffy, my face was dry, my eyes was tired, and I just left the bathroom. Did I fall asleep in the bathroom? Or I went to my bed? I don't remember. My family was concerned, and I went to my room. The thing is, it was not a first things for my family to see me cry over movies, because I used to cry so hard over Lion King whenever Mufasa would die. Alright. True. True. Also super for the hydrate and stretch. Thanks. I'll hydrate. So imagine, I fell asleep. And I woke up. My sister's coming to me asking if I'm doing okay. And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I was in denial. Oh, I was going through the 5 stage of grief. I was in denial. Right? Because like, what do you mean? Angus? No, my husband cannot be dead. What do you mean by that? And for a very, very long time, I was in denial. And when I say I was in denial, I mean it. I did not watch Korra at all. I did not watch Korra. What I did was... I didn't do it. I acted like everything's okay. I rewatched Avatar when Aang was alive. And unfortunately, there has to be a day where you go slowly through 5 stages of grief and you will accept reality. And that's when I did. And that's when I start to watch Korra. And this sequence happened again. And this time I only teared up a little. No single tear shed, but teared up. But I big girl it through and watched Korra. Mind you, that was when the first episode was out. The second time I start watching Korra, all the episodes of season 1 of Korra was out. I think that will give you the time of how much I was going through, the anguish, the pain I went through of losing Aang. But I did not lose hope. And yeah. And that's turning a weird child memory into a life lesson. Exactly. That is me. So, right now if that happens, I would fully give up. Younger me had more ambition. I love the fact the music also slightly became more hopeful. But yeah. And that's my story with Avatar: The Last Airbender, with Aang, and how I said it is the fucking domino effect of who I am. My role playing, like being this fucking weird girl I am now, it's all started with Avatar: The Last Airbender, but your storytelling is top notch, not gonna lie. Thank you. I studied animation. I have to know how to fucking tell a story. I have to write them. Okay, I do write stories. That's a little bit... I have to. Dude, I love... The thing is, as a streamer, you have to be able to tell stories like this, right? It's a little bit your job, but thank you. I take the applause. But yeah, see, I love the music. It's like fucking perfect. But yeah, now I can tell you the time I was catfished.